Welcome back, grade 12s. Let us pick up where we left. Remember, we had just done question 1. Let us see an example of question 2 and how we can answer it. So here we have a question about Dr. Brooks. He decided to take his wife to a concert, and then it says there, study the seating plan of Gr12 Theatre on Annexure E and answer the questions that follow. So this is an example of a seating plan. It can be a stadium that they give you. They can give you a cinema. So just the concept here, you might be asked the same kind of questions but on different plans. First question, how many seats? I know a lot of us are jumping. Yes, this is a level 1. You just need to go and add. Now, just be careful of seats like this ones. If maybe you are that one who's used to saying, okay, I've got 16 seats here, I'm just going to find the ones with 16s. It's safer to go step by step so that you don't make mistakes. The second question there says, determine how many wheelchairs are catered for. If H1 to H13 are reserved for people using wheelchairs, they gave you a guide. H1 to H13. You go find H. This is the H, and you can see the key there already shows you. Then you just count those seats, and then you have your answer. Easy, right? Let's continue. Give the campus direction or the campus direction from seat G30 to the stage. So I always say the key word here is from. The from part, even if they say give the campus direction to the stage from seat G30, that from is where you're going to be doing your campus day. You still have your north up because they gave us that up is north. Then if you have north up there, down there you're going to have south. And on your right, we always say you have east, but just remember if the north is turned upside down, you also need to change your east and your west. Then you say, but then where is my stage when I'm here? You see? So the from is very crucial because that's your starting point. And also just something to take note of, they are not asking you for the set of directions. Be able to differentiate the two. The campus direction is as easy as southeast, southwest, northeast, but general directions where they ask you to describe, then you need to take us through step by step. The next question, number 4 there, it says Dr. Brooks is seated in the middle block, in the 3rd row, from the back. His seat is exactly in the middle of the row. Name the row, not just the row, but the seat. The trap we might fall in here is just to mention the row. So now you need to have the alphabet and the number. So you go following this, the middle block. Here is your middle block. 3rd row from the back, 1, 2, that's the 3rd row. Then you go look for the middle seat. But what did I do? I had to take my information, go to the seating plan, and find my answer. I didn't just think about my answer that is going to come anyway. I go and I look for it in my given information. All right. Let's see. Then you have this question. They ask you to describe. Listen to what the question is saying. It says Dr. Brooks' wife is seated in seat F15. She is invited to join her favorite artist on stage. Describe a clear set of instructions here. We want you to tell us what to do. The shortest route, not just any way to go to the stage, but the shortest one from her seat to the stage. F15 is here. It's up to you to choose the right way. Are you turning left or are you turning right? You look at the shortest way. Then you describe exactly the steps to follow. You can use your compass direction, your north, your east, your south, or you can use your left, your right to describe your directions. Another example, here it's a question on probability. It says, while driving to Gr12 Theatre, Dr. Brooks decided to listen to some music. He has a CD pouch containing the following genre or types of music. 6 CDs on what? Jazz. 2 CDs, opera. 4 CDs, classical music. And 12 CDs with instrumental music. Let's see what they want us to find. Which genre of music has the highest probability? The one that has the highest chances of being picked up. How do we notice that? It has to have the high number of CDs. So you go. You have 6, 2, 4, and 12. Which one is the answer? Then you write that answer down. Determine the probability of randomly selecting a CD with hip-hop. Again, go back to your statement. Is there anywhere where you see hip-hop? If there isn't, it is correct for you to say there is no, the probability is 0 rather, because there are chances that that CD is not going to be there. Don't be scared to say, but how can I not have the probability, something over something? No, 0% is the probability. Remember, in terms of scale, it's 0 to 1. 0 meaning impossible, 1 meaning certain. So you can always refer to that probability scale. Next one, what is the probability that Dr. Brooks will randomly pick a CD with jazz? Here, we know that our probability is going to be jazz over something. How do we find that something? Make sure that you calculate the total number. Add these values up. Some of you fall under the trap of just saying 1 out of 6 because they are 6 CDs on jazz. No, no, no. You need to add all the CDs, and that 6 of yours is going to come up there. Be careful with that one. Right, so an example of question number 3. There is a swimming pool. We can see it's a very interesting kind of shape, not a regular shape that we used to. Let's see what they're asking us here. It says Mr. Mtweni is planning on building a swimming pool to cool off during hot summer days and to entertain his friends and family. The pool consists of a rectangular shape, rectangular from rectangle, at the one end and a semicircular shape, that is the other side of the swimming pool. And then it says there that we must study. They can't just ask you to study if there is no information that is necessary in that picture that they gave you. Study it and answer the following questions. Number 1, calculate the circumference of the semicircle. Look at the formula that they said you may use. We always encourage you, grade 12s, to know your formulas, because here there's a catch. They gave you a formula to calculate for a full circle, but you don't have a full circle, you have half a circle. So just remember your mathematics as well, that you need to divide this answer that you're going to get here by 2, because you are not looking for the circumference of the full circle. And just remember, another word for circumference is perimeter. So it's a perimeter of a circle, in short. But now we're talking of a semicircle. Hence meaning with the information that you know in the first question, it's a continuation of that question. Hence, calculate the perimeter. Now, perimeter, if you don't know what perimeter means, then it's going to be difficult for you to answer this question. But we remember, we are going around. If you are late for soccer practice, what do they tell you? They tell you that you must run around the field for however many times. You have no business with what is happening inside your field. So don't go touching this line inside here. No, this does not form part of your perimeter. So any irregular shape that you are given, you can be given a shape like this, like we've seen in our prelims. We only focus on the outer part. We have no business in going inside. We are running around our shape. And then we get our answer. Don't focus on anything inside your shape. I hope that makes sense. So you are, let me just get rid of this ink. The distance around the swimming pool, that's what you need to be focusing on. Again, they can ask you this kind of a question. They say the total volume. So you are given the volume. You are given the volume, and what are they asking you to find? They are given the volume of water in the rectangular part of the swimming pool when it is full to capacity. And what is that volume? Is 200 kiloliters. Calculate the depth. The depth in this context, because we're talking swimming pool, it's depth, but normally we'll be talking about the height of the swimming pool. If 1 meter cube is equals to 1,000 liters and 1,000 liters is equals to 1 kiloliters, multiple conversions there. You're given kiloliters, so how do you go about answering this question? You need to do what? Move from kiloliters, go to liters. From liters, go to meter cube, because your calculation of volume for a solid structure, it needs to be in units cubed. Then, one way you can go and substitute that value that you have converted in your formula, and then you look for your depth. By doing what? By dividing both sides with the value that you would have found when you multiplied those two values. Alternatively, this is what you can do. After doing your conversions, you can use this table. You usually know this formula from your speed is equals to distance over time. But now you can use it here. What we look for, you write V at the top, and then what you have, this is what V stands for, L times W times D. You are looking for the depth. So the line here represents division, and these lines here, they represent, on the same line, it's multiplication. If one is at the top, one is at the bottom, it represents division. So you're looking for D. Let us rewrite our table now. D is equals to, what is at the top is V. The line represents divide by, then you have L at the bottom, and then you also have times W. Then you can just come right into this formula, because already you made D the subject of the formula. Yours is just to substitute the correct values and do your calculations. So this is one of the ways that I find very helpful that you can use if you don't know how to make something the subject of the formula. All right, temperature, I'm not going to go deep into this. Usually temperature is an easy 2 marks. In this case, they gave us 2 formulas. Generally, they give us 1. And you just substitute there and you find your value. But in this case, what will help you to choose the correct formula is this 29 degrees. You are given 29 degrees. You are looking for degrees Fahrenheit. So the subject of the formula already should be what you are looking for. What you have should go inside there. Substitute correctly. Remember, your calculators are smart. They use BODMAS. So if you don't put your brackets properly, especially on this one, where there is a division, it can easily give you a wrong answer. So be very, very careful and put your brackets to get the correct answer. They can ask you to round off to the nearest 10 degrees. Do that and round off to the nearest 10 degrees as they ask you. Right, so what about this one? It says, this is Lindy here. She has functions that she hosts, but then now it says that the table Lindy uses for functions in a tent has a diameter of 130 centimeters. The circular tablecloth used on the table overhangs 25 centimeters. It's like it overlaps all around. To make the tablecloth, she has to add something more, 1.8 centimeters right around for the hem. The tablecloth material measures 2.3 meters by 2.3 meters in length. This is what they're talking about. So they gave you 2 pictures, one where they show you the tablecloth and another one where they show you how they cut it out. In this type of questions, let me just take you through. They're asking you for the diameter here. Calculate the diameter. The diameter is now increased. It's no longer this 30. On the side, you're going to add your 25. On the side, you're going to add your 25. Don't forget the hem, which is 1,8. So it's as if you are doing what? You are increasing your diameter with the overlapping part that they told you about. So with this kind of questions, you just need to see, am I adding or am I going to subtract? If they asked you for the radius, then you're going to divide your diameter that you were given. Right, calculate the area of what? Of the tablecloth material. Which one are they asking for? The tablecloth. Which section is the tablecloth? Yes, this is our tablecloth. And then you just do substitution correctly into the formula. Remember, if the units are not the same, you need to first make them the same, then substitute. Don't be substituting centimeters with meters in the same formula. Very, very important. Okay, so now we are asked again to calculate the area. Now that area is the area of what? The tablecloth. Which side am I going to be concentrating on? You need to calculate this area. And how do you find that area? You use the formula that is provided. All right. You have the diameter that you calculated in number 1, but remember the formula requires the radius. Convert that radius. Take that diameter and divide it by 2 to get your radius. This is where usually we struggle. So the correct formula, correct substitution, it's marks. And don't forget to write your units. Very, very important, because sometimes they give you a mark for writing those units. The amount of material wasted, this is just the concept that we use to generally when we want to paint a room and there's a window, we need to be subtracting. So you will take the area of the whole material and then you're going to subtract the area of the cloth. Then you would have found the material that they wasted. When you're painting as well, you take the total area of the wall, you subtract the area of the windows and the doors, then you have the area that you need to paint. When you are tiling as well and there are cupboards in the room that you can't shift, you need to take those areas out. So this is the concept that you need, especially in those kind of questions that you might find difficulty in. Remove what is not necessary. Okay. Now we're going to take a very short break and we're going to come back and do question number 4. But so far, I really hope this has helped you, especially when it comes to those concepts where you need to subtract your areas. I'll see you right after this.